So I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins, and a concept that he teaches is about modeling. And what modeling is where you identify, someone who has achieved the goals that you are aspiring to achieve, or the type of person that you would like to become like, and then you model their behaviors. Modeling is really the quickest way to get from point A to point B when it comes to achieving your goals. Think about it. If you want to become an incredible runner, then it would be a good idea to learn from and model other people that are incredible runners. Some of the greatest runners in the world. Read their books, study their habits, how they live, how they stretch. That would be a lot more effective to become a great runner than it would be to study musicians. If you want to become a musician, then yeah, of course, then you would study and learn and model after, the greatest musicians and so forth. And so when I think about the people in my personal life who are some of my greatest idols and role models, people that I aspire to become like, the one commonality that I notice between them is that they all live sober lives. That they don't drink alcohol, they don't smoke any weed. They live sober lives, and this can be tricky, especially in this day and age, because there are a lot of celebrities and famous people, athletes and things like that do smoke weed. The Joe Rogans and the this and that. And, oh, okay, well they did it. They do it, so I guess that's gonna help me. Well, you know what? Everybody is different, and the thing that I always think about is how much are they leaving on the table? How much of their potential are they holding back? If Joe Rogan, for example, if he didn't smoke weed, even though he's achieved great levels of success and is a great athlete, well, maybe he could have become even more, or could become even more if he put that down, and he kept his brain completely sober so that he could really just maximize his potential. Maybe someday we'll see him finally quit weed and admit how it was holding him back in his life. And I know I've heard from people who are famous who smoked weed for a long time and quit because they noticed it was holding them back, like Graham Hancock, author, kind of like the modern day Indiana Jones, and he actually did a talk. I think it was a TED talk actually, or some kind of speech or podcast or something, but where he shared about, he's a chronic weed smoker for most of his life, but then finally put it down because he realized that, it was holding him back from reaching his highest potential. So we can get tricked and influenced due to certain celebrities that do smoke weed, but, and so a good idea would be to model people and celebrities that don't smoke weed and have achieved greatness. So I'm going to go through and just name a few. I have a recovery group, and so in there I posted about celebrities and so forth that and athletes and things like that that they could think of that don't smoke weed, that live sober lives. And so these were a collection of some of the people listed, and of course there's a lot more than this. This is just a small list. But so anyways, Tony Robbins, one of my personal biggest inspirations. The guy is amazing. I've been to several of his conferences. Dude lives a totally sober life. Doesn't drink any alcohol, doesn't smoke weed, just completely sober. He understands that, to be able to play at the level he's playing at, he has to stay dialed in at all times. Dr. Wayne Dyer, another one of my personal favorites. He lives a completely sober life. He used to drink every single day. He talks about how he quit it, and then, just because he realized it was holding him back, and he wanted to commit to letting go of weaknesses, of things that were holding him back. Wim Hof, the Iceman, the guy who climbed Mount Everest in his shorts, and ran through the desert, without drinking any water, did an extreme race, and he just broke all kinds of records and basically defying science. To look that guy up if you've never heard of him, Wim Hof, but I purchased his course about 2 years ago, and I'm in his private Facebook group. So yes, he lives a sober life, doesn't smoke weed, doesn't drink. David Goggins, man, this guy is incredible. He's the only guy to ever complete 3 Navy SEAL Hell Weeks within 1 year, which that's so intense that people die we're going through a Navy SEALs Hell Week, and he completed 3 in a 12-month period. He's also run over 60 100-mile races, set the world record for the most pull-ups in a 24-hour period. He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, he doesn't even drink coffee. And the dude is just, crushing it at life. Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker. I love his videos. He always gets me fired up. And I remember one time, he was talking about how people will ask him, why don't you smoke weed? What's wrong with smoking weed? And he said it's, and I love what he said. He said it's not about what's wrong with smoking weed. It's what's right about it. How is this going to help me to get to my goal? And he said it's not, not that anything wrong with smoking weed or whatever, but what's right about it. See, he's committed to becoming the best version of himself. And so he gets up extreme, at like 3 a.m. every day. He's reading, studying, traveling the world, doing motivational speeches, writing books. And so he understands that, if he wants to play at that level, he's gotta have a clean, sober mind. And so he doesn't use it because he knows that it'll hold him back from reaching his highest potential. Some other people that were listed: Bruce Willis, Keanu Reeves, Eric Clapton, Eminem, Tom Hardy, Jim Carrey, Russell Brand, Robert Downey Jr., Cristiano Ronaldo, Bradley Cooper, Donald Trump. Politics aside, I'm not a politics guy. I don't follow politics or anything like that. I'm not involved with it or have any opinion on that. But I remember, but I always feel that you can learn something from people who have reached high levels in life, even whether it was for good or for bad. I mean, I feel you can learn things even from someone like, Hitler or Mother Teresa or Gandhi. You can always learn something from people that were able to influence people on a mass level for good or for bad. Take find what you can gain from them and then use it for good in your own life to help humanity in a good way. Politics aside, I remember when I was in high school and I was first getting interested in business and becoming an entrepreneur. I remember my dad gave me a book by Donald Trump, and I remember reading in there about how he doesn't drink, he lives a sober life, and the reason why he doesn't is because he said that it gives him a competitive advantage over everyone else, where he knows most of his competition drinks alcohol, and so instead he chooses to live sober, get up early in the morning, and so again, politics aside, you can always learn things from anybody that has climbed really high in life. I'm sure there's many more people that live a sober life that don't smoke any weed or anything like that. If you know of some other people, please comment it below so that other people can follow them. But even just going on Google, I'm sure you can Google and discover more people out there that live sober lives, that don't smoke any weed, that still have achieved greatness. And then model those people. Instead of modeling someone like Joe Rogan that brags about smoking weed, and there's plenty of other people that have achieved greatness like him, that are athletes. Model those people instead. Because if you model people that have achieved greatness and smoke weed, it's going to tempt you and give you permission to smoke weed. So instead, I would recommend to model people that live sober lives, and model them. So with that being said, guys, I hope you have a great day. Let's make it a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year. Let's make it a great life, baby. Till next time, see ya.